Hello and welcome back to another video. Today's video is a Japan storytime video. I'm still talking about the language school. I have a lot more content that I could milk from that subject before I move on to other things. Other topics will be soon. But before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be greatly appreciated. So today we're going to talk about French people. And by the way, this video was brought to you by my wife's hot pot she cooked the other night. It's pretty flame. I like shabu shabu. So like I said in the first video about Chinese spies, that I came to Japan to study how to speak Japanese or learn Japanese, Nihongo Gakko, if you will. When I first got to Japan, of course, everything is very multicultural when you go to these schools, or international used to be the old word. Now it's diversity. So in my class, there were quite a few kids, and one of them was French. His name was Hadrian. And he was okay. I sat by him because he was actually helping me learn Japanese. Then all of a sudden one day I leave school and he seems very distant, and then the teacher the next day moved me. Wouldn't give me an exact reason the whole time. When I got back, Hadrian was pretty cold towards me. Wouldn't talk to me except for near the end when I finally withdrew from the school. It's like every French person that I came across in that school, like they were so distant, or they were so pompous or elitist, like, I'm Frenchman, blah, 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 blah. I am special. And then they look you up and down like you're fucking disgusting Americans or Australians or something. Like they're the most fashionable, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of them were disgusting looking, like they had poor hygiene. Like they looked homeless from the shoulders up, while they wore like track suits like from Nikes or Adidas. Everything down, or just out of date fashion that they would wear. So one day we break for lunch. I can't exactly remember the time of the day. It's probably we were only going there for like 3.5 hours a day. There's no way you're gonna learn Japanese with that amount of time. So one day we break and we go to we all can leave and go get something to drink, or go run down the street really fast and smoke, or if you were doing that, or get a beer or something. Some kids actually got away with drinking while they were in school. But so I go over to the 7-Eleven that's directly across the street from the school. I buy whatever. Cool. I proceed to head back up to the third floor or the second floor. I don't remember exactly which room my class was, but that's beside the point. I go into the bathroom, and the French kids, they're a tribe, man. They're a pack, bro. So they were all just in the bathroom together in like one room. So I decide okay, screw it. I'm going to go to the bathroom, handle my business, and then all of a sudden I step out, and there's like 5, 6 of them standing around in this small bathroom. And I'm not bullshitting you, dude. One of them has their dick out. And he's texting with one hand, puts the phone in one hand. With the hand he was texting with, scratches his dick in front of all of his friends. And then scratches his face and proceeds to give a high five to one of his friends as he walks out of the bathroom to go back to class. And then he's looking at me like I'm the disgusting, uncultured person, like, American. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe I'm not cultured like most Europeans, right? I'm white European, but American, right? But I just don't think it's appropriate, or maybe I'm put off by saying schlong in public. I mean, I'll go to the onsen or the hot spring and not have a problem with it, because that's what that area is meant for. So I proceed to wash my hands and walk out of the bathroom, and I'm still getting stared down by like 6 or 7 of them. Dude still hasn't put his cock back in his pants. Right? And they all smelled like death, too. Like, I love how they look us up and down like we're uncultured or whatever, but they have to use cologne. I don't know if it's genetic, but they smell like death. It's like a mixture of dirt and I don't know, maybe soury sweat smell whenever I'm around French people. Yeah, except for like one or two of them, and I'll get into them in a minute. So I proceeded to go back to the class, and I held my tongue. I held my tongue about it. You know, I didn't talk about it for a long time until recently. And the whole time, it's like when you come across these Europeans, especially the French, they always have this elitism to them. Like, oh, we're Frenchmen. We are better than the Americans. We can do whatever we want. Women love us. Ha 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 ha. Women love us. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The number one scent in Japan is actually nothing. If you smell like death in this country, be prepared to, as they say, not get any pussy. So I go back to where I was staying. I was staying in a youth hostel at the time. And there's this one dude, his name's Marvin, and there's actually French. He's here, I don't know if he's still here actually. His visa, he could only extend it up to 5 years. So unfortunately, Marvin's like a cool French dude. His English was okay. He had this like twitch to his eyes when he talked, but his manners were cool. He was cool as hell, man. He was here to study calligraphy or something. He was one of the managers of the guest house I was living at. And I never had a problem with him. Marvin would speak Japanese. He'd high five with me. So, hey, Alex, how are you today? Oh, Genki desu go? Japanese and a French accent. It was pretty cool. Shout out to Marvin at the guest house, if he's still there. And, you know, I never had problems with him. He showered every day, scrubbed down, always smelled nice. He wasn't pompous. He wore t-shirts and jeans, you know, didn't care about fashion. So every day when I would go to school, there was this young kid on the train. I think his name was Miguel. And clean shaven, hair and everything. We would talk from time to time. I should have got his line info, man. If he's still in Japan, if I run into him, if I'm ever up in Tokyo, I want to get your line information, bro. So he was cool. I actually leveled with him one day because he was kind of wearing like the sporty track outfits, because that's the one thing about the Europeans compared to like white Americans. Whether we are either fat, super skinny, or like jacked, bro. We're set up for farmer strength, right? So I was talking to Miguel. He was decked out in his like, I guess his sports gear. Like he was ready. He looked like he was ready to go play soccer or something. Like, hey Miguel, man, like level with me, bro. Like, what's up with the French guys, especially that just smell bad, and the women just act like they're better, or they have this weird like gaze off to the side, like they're special. I can't give you that. I can't tell you with words. You have to see it. And he like stared off for a moment in agreement, and then he looks back at me and he agrees. He's like, yeah, sometimes. He's like, yeah, sometimes French guys are like that. He's like, I can't stand it. He was from, I guess, like a minor city. I wouldn't say minor, like I guess closer to the countryside in France. So like probably a different culture compared to like Paris or wherever a lot of these other Frenchmen were from. And so we got to talk, and he actually started laughing and cracking jokes about other French people, and it's like, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And I started cracking jokes about, you know, other white people from America. You know, we had a camaraderie moment, you know, and then next thing you know, I got off at the Takanado Baba station on the Yamanote line, the worst line in Japan. I think that might be one of my videos coming up about that fucking train line, especially in the summer. And I proceed to get off the train and walk up to my class. And just like every single day, all the French people are just walking together. I'm not against them being together or having camaraderie or staying amongst their people, but they walk around like they're special, bro, when they all smell like death. And then you point it out to them, and then they'll counteract it, well, we're cultured, or this or that. And especially if you're American, like, well, we don't start wars, or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever, enjoy those Muslims in your country. So, I guess that's about it, but every single time I come around the French, or go around the French in Japan, right, it's like, they always act like, oh, they can get the most pussy, or the most sex, or everyone loves them, but let me tell you something, man. Like, a lot of them were trying to get IT jobs, and not a single one of them I've met is able to land an IT job. Like I said in one of my last videos, Japan is for the Japanese, right? They're gonna hire the Japanese before they hire anyone else, even if Japan is better at understanding hardware compared to software, which in recent years they've started to come around to being better at software, but that's for a different video as well. So every single time you come across these French people, I guess the French diaspora, which is a crazy thing to think about, it's like they smell bad or they act proud, and it's like, dude, I scratch my ass like you all do. You know, I piss like you all do, but I don't walk around with my cock out, is basically what I'm trying to say. So the interesting stories you'll have around French people, and how they'll be proud, or they'll do disgusting things like snorting, or scratching in public, or smelling like death, or looking like they're homeless from the neck up, while they wear, like, in my opinion, shitty fashion. And I'll be honest with you, I think the sound of the French language is disgusting. I prefer listening to German, and English is my first language, right? And even though I'm semi-bilingual in like Japanese and maybe a little Spanish too, I guess we all speak a little Spanish now. I'll be honest, I enjoy the way my language sounds. Maybe some German. German, and it's very obvious when they get angry, or when they're happy, or they're like mute emotionally, right? But the French, man, it's like you can't tell if they're angry or sad or proud or whatever. It's ridiculous. So, all right, thank you for stopping by. If you listen to my little rant about the French people and the story that I just told you. If you're in Japan, remember to bathe, brush your teeth, cut your hair, and be clean shaven. Because if you want any women like the French men do, that think they're so sexy, the Japanese women and some of the men, their standards are of another level. Like, you don't have to be in the best shape. Just be clean and well dressed, or decently dressed, right? Time and a place for everything. So until next time, drink a strong zero, or a umebushi, chuhai. Take it easy or not at all. And remember, if you survived this long into my rant, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.